Hello, my crafty friends. It's Sharon Luska here from My Crafty Greetings. And guess what? Tomorrow is finally my episode of Craft Roulette. I hope you'll all join me. I'm going to reveal that amazing technique with supplies you already have. It's going to blow your mind. This was a little mind-blowing, though. This is the last Craft Roulette, and Charlene Madrid was on, and I think everybody kind of looked at it and thought, what the heck? And really, this is so good for us, and it really stretches our capabilities in the craft room. The colors were cornucopia, so I just grabbed a piece of pattern paper from my stash, and I also had in my stash this adorable little purse or bag that was made previously with a Scrappy Tales die set, and it's a die set that made this gorgeous little purse too, but there is another video, I'll link it below. You can check it out. But this little bag here was just kind of kicking around my craft room, and it really needed to be center stage with something, and small bag was one of the project pieces. So this is what I thought I would include, and I thought that it would look great for this. Now, case and element, Michelle Graham. I love those three little flowers at the bottom of her card, and I thought that that would work perfectly for my card. So that is my case. Copy and steal or whatever we want to call it from last week or World Card Making Day. And I have these three gorgeous little flowers also from Scrappy Tales. They are the sunflower die sets that Scrappy Tales have released. And this die set is so fabulous because you can recombine it in so many ways to have so many different looking flowers. These are two of the topper layers that I'm using for the small one, but you can see all of these pieces, plus there's 2 leaves, and they go up to 2.5 inches across, which I'm a 5x7 card maker, so that little purse is big too. But here was another idea that I did with them. This is what I love about Scrappy Tales. You can do so many different things. Now, I just wanted to make sure that when I opened this little purse, and I'm gonna have to move that strap, but when I opened this little bag, I wanted to make sure that it was still able to open without damaging the flowers. So I'm just eyeballing where I need to stick it, and I'm gonna stick my flowers down first. I wanted to add a little bit of foam tape to the back. It's my homemade foam tape to the back of one of the flowers just to pop it up a little bit. And I also wanted to say too, with the casing, I took the idea of Michelle's element of having the 3 flowers, but you'll see I decided to do 3 of the same color. My flowers are different than hers, and I decided to include some leaves with mine as well. And I did really like, though, how she had a shimmery element to the center of her flowers. So I thought that what I would do for my sunflowers is I'm going to lay down a layer of just alcohol marker ink here. Any type of marker would be fine, or if you even wanted to use acrylic paint, whatever you decided to do. And then I'm taking my glossy accents because I'm going to add, I have these little tiny, I don't know if they're salvage bead chunks, but they're little tiny broken pieces of black bugle beads. And I love that for the center of sunflowers. And since my little bag is a little bit thicker, I thought, you know what, this will be likely a hand deliver. So adding something like a bead on is not going to be a problem, but as you may or may not know, Glossy Accents is one of the best adhesives for adding on anything glass or shiny. It has such a stick quality to it. So I don't know if you can see those little tiny suckers there, and you'll also notice I didn't put the Glossy Accents everywhere. I kind of just put it on haphazardly because I don't mind the brown showing through. It gives it extra texture and extra appeal. And yeah, I'm just kind of going to drop these in place. Now, the other thing too that I'll highly recommend that if you are going to put beads on a card is to make sure that they don't poke through the envelope. Just take your finger once you've kind of dropped them in place and just pat them down. So give them a little pat to make sure that they're only 1 layer thick and that they get some good contact with your glossy accents. And once you give it a little time to dry, you'll be away to the races. So one of the random elements was splatter. And I have this awesome Sharpie brush tip marker. I absolutely love it. And it's great for edging around little die cuts or, fussy cut stamped pieces. And you can also take it and do this neat little flick technique with the lid, where you just take the brush tip in there and you hold it against the lid. And when you flick it, it gives these little splatters or spatters, depending on which you are. So convenient. And I did protect my surface, but you can see those little spatters or splatters there. Oh, they look so good. And the nice thing is that anytime you're tying colors together, you want to do a something big and a something small. So the big is the center of my flowers and the small is the spatters. So if you do too many big things, it gets a little confusing for the eye. Whereas if you do something that the size difference is what we would call substantial on a card, then you're in a position where it creates harmony in your card. So that's a great tip. And then repeating some of the color tones as well of the yellows and oranges and things is really going to help. But then our green here is going to add a pop of interest, which will be wonderful because everything else is in that very kind of warm tones, very subtle tones. But this is going to really catch your eye and frame up those flowers so that they really have the spotlight that they deserve. I'm so happy that this came up on the wheel for Craft Roulette. If you haven't caught Craft Roulette before, I do highly, highly encourage that you check it out. It really helps you stretch your legs as a card maker and puts you in a position that you have to think about what's in your stash. And you also have to think about, what can I actually make myself? What can I do myself? Like, I can spatter with a marker. I can, make centers to my own flowers. There's lots of things that you can do, and that is the whole purpose of Craft Roulette. It's not just community. Community is so important. You're with your crafty friends there, but the whole idea of stretching your crafty legs and getting into your craft room and making consistently, because let's face it, if you only practiced the piccolo once, you're not going to be a great piccolo player. But if you get in there and you piccolo week after week after week, you're going to piccolo with the best of them. Maybe I should have said clarinet. Well, nonetheless, only good things can come from Craft Roulette. And did I say you can win prizes? Oh yeah, submit a card and play along, and you can also win prizes. And you'll get to meet some of the most fabulous creators. It's always so much fun. Don't miss out Friday night, and if not, catch us on the replay. It is going to be an absolute blast. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.